In order to construct coated wire electrodes, obtain 4 pieces of 0.9mm leads. Next, ensure that you have the pieces of lead taped onto the fume hood in a vertical fashion. Following that, obtain a sample of the membrane solution, which you're going to add from halfway up the piece of lead down. And ensure that you have the microcentrifuge tube right below that, so it'll collect whatever is dripping off. Following each addition, you're going to notice that there is a small amount of sample at the bottom of the piece of lead. To remove that, just gently touch the piece of lead with the microcentrifuge tube and that will remove it. Repeat this for all 4 pieces of lead and allow them to dry for 10 minutes. Following the drying time, repeat this entire process for every piece of lead 3 more times, and then store them in the fume hood for next week to dry.
To construct a liquid membrane electrode, 4 PTFE tubes are obtained of equal length of approximately 4 centimeters. Next, we obtain a membrane solution and dip one end of the PTFE tubes to obtain approximately 1 centimeter of membrane solution. Repeat this process for all 3 remaining tubes. Next, we obtain 40 microliters of membrane solution and add slowly to each tubings using a gel loading pipette tip. Next, we store this in a fume hood for 1 week.
In preparation for the second week, we're going to obtain a pipette tip. The pipette tip is divided into sections. We're going to cut on the second section from the top, which will look like this. We obtain 4 centimeters of silver wire and we insert into the tip, making sure that there's 2 centimeters of wire sticking out of the tip. Then we're going to take some crazy glue and glue the tip to the wire so it won't move later on into the experiment.
Obtain the tubing that you created last week. Fill it up with some pH 4 buffer using a gel filtering loading tip. Retrieve the wiring device created last week. Place it inside. Use crazy glue to seal. Obtain one of your liquid membrane electrodes and one of the coated wire electrodes that you created last week. Place them into a bath of pH 4 buffer. Allow it to sit for 30 minutes while in constant stirring at about this rate.
Construct the apparatus as follows, with the reference electrode and the liquid membrane electrode being connected together by a rubber band at their tips, with their tips being slightly apart. Then you want to take the red wire and connect it onto the wire from the liquid membrane electrode. You want to take the black wire from the reference electrode and attach it to the pH meter. Once this is done, you want to take the apparatus and put them both in the pH 4 buffer and the pH 7 buffer respectively to calibrate the electrodes. Attach the silver wire to the graphite electrode so that we can attach the red terminal wire onto it and calibrate it as we did with the liquid membrane electrode.
After calibrating the disposable electrodes, now we have to calibrate the commercial combination electrode with pH 4 and pH 7 buffer. Be sure to follow the instructions provided on the card.
Using the liquid membrane electrode, the coated wire electrode, and the commercial combination electrode, a series of pHs ranging from 4 to 9 will be measured. Record all measurements from each electrode.